Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Photo Snippets. I'm filming today in an area which is called Valgau, and I'm in quest to find a photograph which I've seen in a webcam for the weather. It's a shot of the Alps with a very nice foreground with some Bavarian villages, and the weather is perfect today. There's a lot of cloud but also some sunlight, so I'm hoping for a spectacular sort of sky and a side light with the sunset. I have to go up the mountain for about half an hour, and then I'll get where the webcam is supposed to be, and I'm going to explore there a little bit, see if maybe I'll have a better shot if I go a bit higher up, or if there is the best place, I don't know. So I have a few hours in front of me until the sunset. I'm not going to actually photograph the sunset. I just want to have side light, so I may not wait until it's actually dark or just the sunset. I'm going to see when I get there. I'm just hoping I'm going to have some nice conditions, and I'll find a nice foreground, and I'll find the actual shot that I've seen in this weather cam. And if I do, it's going to be a very nice photograph. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm hoping I'm going to find it, but I won't know until I get up there. Which way? This way? Or this way? Well, when in doubt, take the easiest route. So this is it. I got to the place where I want to go, and the view is really what I hoped for. The only question now is, will the weather play along, and will I have some nice clouds and some shadows with the light. At the moment it's a bit flatter than I hoped for, but realistically speaking, the probability of getting the right light in one visit is very small, if you think about it. Nevertheless, let's see what we can get today. So I'm gonna look around now for a nice shot with a nice foreground. I have some nice ferns right over here, so maybe I'll use those, or maybe I'll go somewhere over there to see if there's something better. I'll try to also go a little bit further up, so we'll see. I'll have a few hours, so I'll explore around here. Hopefully I'll find something which is nice and interesting, and hopefully the light will get a bit better, because it's a bit too flat for now, but we'll see. So I'm here at the right spot now, and I looked around for a photograph. I found a nice place with a nice foreground for a panorama shot, where I included this bench on the left of the image, and took all of the mountains behind me. I am using a gradual density filter to darken the sky a little bit, because it's too bright in comparison to the rest of the mountains and the houses at the bottom part of the image. But still I'm bracketing just to be sure, but I'm not sure I'm going to need the bracketing. I'm also focus stacking, because I'm at 65 millimeters, so I cannot have it sharp from front to back. So I need to focus, take every shot in the panorama, focusing once sort of close, let's say at the bench here, and once at the mountains in the background. So I'll show you now what I'm photographing, or rather what I photographed already, because the sky is getting worse slowly. Earlier it was a bit more, it had a few more features in it. Now it's almost featureless, so I'm happy I took it about half an hour ago. So this is the shot. Starts from here, from the bench and the mountains in the background, and moves all the way to the right. I think there were 10 shots altogether to get all of the mountains. As you can see, there is a big difference in brightness between the sky and the mountains, so I had to bracket in addition to the gradual density filter. It would have been much better with the more dramatic sky, but yeah, what can you do? It is what it is. Maybe I'll mount the long lens and see if I can get some close-ups of the mountains, but with no clouds and not a dramatic sky. Again, I don't think I'm going to get anything particularly spectacular today. So one shot, 1 hour, 1.5 hours drive to get here, 1.5 hours drive to go back now for one shot.
So this is the photograph, and though I like the scene, despite the uninspiring light, unfortunately the photo is flawed. I made several mistakes when taking it. In this case, I didn't lose too much sleep over it, because as I said, conditions were not good anyway, and the location is easily reachable, so I can have a go at it again. But if the light had been unique, I would have been really pissed off with myself. So if you're relatively new to photography, pay attention so that you avoid making the same mistakes. Mistake number 1, my most important, really unforgivable mistake, is that I completely forgot to check the aperture, which was set to f4. I forgot because 9 out of 10 times I photograph with an aperture of f11 or thereabout, but in this case it was set to f4. This resulted in virtually zero depth of field at close range. I literally had 1 meter of sharpness around my focus point, which was at around 4 meters. The rest, before and after that, was out of focus, until about 17 meters when the image got sharp again because of my shot focusing on the mountains. And mistake number 2, even with the right aperture, say f11 or f13, things wouldn't have been perfect because you cannot have the photo sharp from front to back with 2 shots at 62 millimeters. If you focus at 1 meter, for example, your depth of field is just 17 centimeters, giving you sharpness from 92 centimeters out to 1 meter 9 centimeters, and then the rest is blurry again, until about 11 meters, when it sharpens from the photograph focused far away. And at 4 meters, your image would be sharp from around 3 out to 6 meters, and the rest would be blurry again. So if I had the opportunity to do it again, I would consider 2 options. A focus stack, if possible with f11, which gives the highest sharpness on my equipment. The first shot would be focused at around 6 meters, giving me a sharp photograph from around 4 out to 12 meters. Then the second shot, focused far away, would cover the rest. That would mean that the first 4 meters would be out of focus, so I would position the camera accordingly and crop the bottom part of the image. A simpler solution would be to compromise a bit on the ultimate sharpness, probably unnoticeable to the eye to be honest, and set the aperture to f16 or even a bit higher, and focus on the mountains in the distance. This would give me sharpness from 8 meters outwards, which would mean I would again have to move the camera backwards a few meters and then crop the bottom part of the image if necessary. Of course, it always helps if you can inspect the photograph while you are there. However, if you are like most people over 40-45, you have some degree of presbyopia, so detecting this kind of small imperfections on the small camera screen is very difficult. So you should pay attention while taking the photograph and do it right, because you may not have the second opportunity. Using an app such as Planet Pro or PhotoPills to calculate hyperfocal distance also helps a lot.
As you can see, I'm still here. I decided to try to take some close-ups of the mountains, or rather I couldn't resist taking some close-ups of the mountains with a longer lens. And yeah, the sky is not helping, it's completely flat now, but maybe some of them will be nice. I included as little sky as possible in the photographs. It's getting dark slowly and the weather's not getting any better. So I'm gonna head back now, and I hope I'll get some, okay photos. They're not gonna be the photos of the year, but I hope they'll be nice enough to post in the blog or something. So I hope I'll see you next time, and until then, bye bye.